What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Shui here, bringing you another Smite video. This is episode 2 in the series of free weekly builds. Now, if you don't know what this series is, I will bring you a build for one of the free rotation gods twice a week for 2 gods, and I will then show you a really good build for the free god that you can then go out and use on your own to then do very well in public matches. Now, my video before, I covered Neith, the hunter, who is very good and has a very efficient long range finisher. That is her ultimate. She can snipe across the map. If you're interested, make sure you go check that out. It's really fun, really good build, and you'll have a lot of fun playing her. But today we're playing the god of gods, the king of gods himself, Zeus. And he is a mage that hits hard, hits fast, and hits for a long time. So we're going to look at his abilities really quick. We're going to take a quick look at his passive first, which his basic attacks, when hits an enemy, will apply a charge. Basic attacks against targets with charges deal increased damage by 30% per charge. So that can be very powerful, as you can tell. And we're actually going to go up to his first ability, which is you fire a bolt of lightning that arcs between enemies, doing damage and applying a charge on each hit. As you can tell by so far, charges are important in this build. Zeus harnesses his lightning defensively, granting himself an additional protection and increasing his movement speed. While the shield is active, basic attacks from enemy players have a percentage of the damage reflected back as magical damage and have a charge applied. Now, pretty much this is very good, mainly for the movement speed portion. You're not going to pretty much use this to deflect all the damage and kill people that way or anything like that. It's really nice to throw this up to go into a team fight or anything like that, and you just want to throw that up so you can reflect some damage, set charges, and use those as chains and stuff like that. And then the big kahuna that you're going to use for the majority of the game is going to be detonate charge, where you detonate any charges that are accumulated on enemies, doing damage multiplied by 1, 2, 3 depending on the number of charges. Targets with 3 charges at the time of detonation are slowed. So as you can tell, stack charges with everything, and then as soon as you see a god or anything like that with 3 charges, you detonate and blow it up real quick. Now, his ultimate is Lightning Storm. This is the only build I think I've ever done where the ultimate really is not the star of the show. And his ultimate is not bad. It's an AoE, and he conjures a Lightning Storm, striking enemies in the area every second, applying a charge with each hit. Now, if you can slow enemies in this, it is actually quite an effective technique. But other than that, it's really not that strong, and it only lasts for 5 seconds. That's why it's not that strong. So we're actually going to go to the ability builder real quick so you can see this. I pretty much wanted to max out chain light or detonate charge first, and then slowly leveling chain lightning as I go. As you can see in the first 3 levels, I wanted to get at least 1 on each one, just so I have multiple ways to set charges other than my basic attacks and chain lightning. So it's pretty much, you want to make sure you have multiple ways to set charges on enemies, because that is the best way to kill, and that is the fastest way you're going to kill and gain XP and win fights. And then you want to max Lightning Storm as much as you can, because it may not be the strongest, but it can dictate a team fight. You can throw it in the middle of the lane. If they sit in it, they're going to die, so they're going to want to dodge out and get out of it as fast as they possibly can. So they can definitely swing the momentum in your favor. I'll definitely use it as that. And then once you're done maxing out your detonate charge, you want to max out your chain lightning and then Aegis shield. And then of course level 20, you'll throw the final point on Lightning Storm. Now we're going to hop on over to the item build of this section. And if you've watched my video before, you know that I always like to start with a starter item that gives you life steal or some kind of life restore. So we're actually going to go with Vampiric Shroud, and it gives you magical power, health, and MP5. Killing an enemy restores 10 health and 10 mana. This actually gives you mana and health return, which is really nice, especially seeing as Zeus, you're going to be running main or middle lane for a majority of the time. So it's definitely going to be useful for the long run. And also, if you know me, you know that I love to run the active item Meditation, which is pretty much a low tier 1. You can do it, pop it every 120 seconds. It instantly restores 75% of your max mana and gives you 15 MP5 for 15 seconds. So do the math on that. You'll be getting 15 mana back every second for 15 seconds. It's really effective and really useful. And then of course you already know that the first item that you're going to start leveling is going to be your boots. So you're going to want to get that, and that is what you're going to want to buy before you bounce off of Fountain and go into battle. Now the first item you actually want to max is actually going to be your boots. Now the boots that I choose are actually kind of off the wall compared to the other ones that you'll see in multiple Zeus builds. Most of them will say buy the Shoes of Focus due to the cooldown reductions. You can instantly have your detonation and do more damage. I actually choose to go with the Shoes of the Magi, so you have more mana and more magical power, so that way when you do detonate, it hits harder early. So I like to run with those. And then the next one, where you're going to be actually grabbing a lifesteal item that is not a stack lifesteal, it is Polynomicon. And it gives you 75 magical power, 300 mana, and 10% magical lifesteal. And it gives, using an ability, gives your next basic attack within the next 8 seconds, plus 60% of your magical power as additional magical power, or magical damage, excuse me. This effect can only apply once every 3 seconds, so pretty much what it is, you pop detonate, and then hit him with a lightning bolt, and that lightning bolt's gonna hit him in the face like a 2x4, and it's not, they're not gonna appreciate that at all. And it could actually probably be a finisher at some point in time, but it's really good because it can pop every 3 seconds, which is pretty short for the amount of power it's gonna be packing. Throw that bad boy in the build. And the next one that we're going to put in for the core is actually a power and health booster. It is a stacking item called Warlock Sash. It gives you 50 magical power, 300 health, 400 mana. You permanently gain 3 health and 0.6 magical power per stack and receive 5 stacks for a god kill, 1 stack for a minion kill. Maxes out at 100 stacks. So it gives you an additional 300 health and an additional 60 magical power just off the stacks alone. So that's going to be throwing you with an additional 110 magical power and additional 600 health just from this item by itself. You can't pass that up, guys. It's expensive, but it's worth it. Now, the next one that we're actually going to grab is, mainly this build is offensive, but we're going to be grabbing the Demonic Grip, which gives you 60 magical power and 25% attack speed. Your basic attacks reduces your target's magical protection by 7%, and an additional 5 points for 3 seconds, and it can stack 3 times. So you want to throw that on there pretty much just to dwindle down their armor and help them, pretty much not help them, but help you kill them by lowering their own stats. It's really helpful if you run up against any tanks or anything like that. You can definitely just kind of dwindle them down a little bit. Now the next one we're actually going to go for is called the Gem of Isolation. Gives you magical power, health, and mana to make you a little more bulky. And when you hit an enemy with damaging abilities, they will move hitting enemies with your damaging abilities will move 25% slower for 2 seconds. So you hit an enemy and they slow down, and you can catch up, hit them with whatever you need to. So this is really good when you're going against an assassin. So let's say an assassin tries to gank you and you get the advantage or the one up on them and they try to run away. Not with Gem of Isolation around, they're going to be moving 25% slower, and they're not going to be able to do anything or get away. Now the last one that we're just going to put on here pretty much just adds insult to injury and will just help you wreck anybody in your way, and that is Obsidian Shard. This is a necessity in any mage build. Plus 33% magical penetration is stupid. It will help you just destroy tanks. It'll help you destroy anybody. It really doesn't matter how bulky they build, you will just wreck their freaking face. So we're going to throw that on there, and then we're going to throw these on here as you know so we can see the stats. I'm not going to read the soft cap stats this time, guys. But the basic attack is going to be a 143, your power is going to be a 390, your attack speed is going to be a 1.26, 10 lifesteal, 62 physical, and 30 magical protection. You're going to be capping out at 2,350 health, 15 HP 5, 419 movement, 0% cooldown because we really don't need it, and then you have 2,325 mana and 14 MP 5. It's a pretty solid build, guys. You just got to play it smart. Make sure you get your charges set up. It is a self-setup build, which I'm not a huge fan of, but playing as Zeus is actually pretty fun. You get to just set up all those charges, see all the little spinning circles, and just detonate them all, and it's beautiful. It's like fireworks where people are dying. It's crazy. It's like war, but beautiful. So that's pretty much it for me, guys. I'm going to get out of here. Make sure you smash out that like button. It does let me know that you guys appreciate these builds, and they are helping you out. Make sure you go down and subscribe and join the Shoe Crew if you're not a member already. Make sure you comment down below if you have any other gods you would like for me to show you a build for that is not on the free rotation, and I will definitely hit you up with that. But that's pretty much it for me, guys. I'm going to bounce out of here. I will talk to you guys later. Peace!